Hi all, welcome to the next video on programming. Today I am gonna present to you different method to display string on the console in Java programming language. Those are system.out.println, system.out.print, and the third one is system.out.printf. First I will start system.out.println. This println method displays the given string on the monitor by appending a new line character at the end of that string. If you observe the usage of this println method, you will have system.out.println. In parentheses, we need to provide the parameter. So that parameter will be automatically displayed on the monitor with a new line character at the end. Here the system is the predefined class in the Java to access the system resources. Here out is the static member of the system class, represents the output stream connected to the monitor. Here if you observe, the println method is overloaded with different signatures. Here the first one is the println method without having any parameter here. So if you use like that, automatically the cursor will be moved to the next line in the monitor. And then we can provide the integer as the input for the println method, then that integer will be displayed. In the same way, you can display a double value by using println, a float value can be displayed, a character, a boolean value as well as a string can be displayed, and also an object can be displayed. Every object will have inbuilt toString method, then the println method displays the value returned by the toString method of this object. Next we will see some examples. In the first example, I have used two println methods. So in the first println method, I have passed first statement as input string. In the second println method, I have passed second statement as input string. Then the output will be like that. In the first line, you will get the first statement. So because after displaying this first statement, this println method automatically appends a new line character, then automatically the cursor will move to the next line where the second statement will be displayed. Coming to the next example. In the second example, after displaying the first statement by using println method, I have used a new line escape sequence. Then automatically between the first statement and the second statement, an empty line is included. We can achieve the same thing by using a println method without passing any parameter to it. See, the first println statement prints the first statement on the first line, and automatically cursor will move to the next line. And then the next line is having empty println method, then that will append only new line character, then again the cursor will move to the next line where the second statement will be displayed. So like that, one more empty line you can add with the help of a println method without using any parameters for that. So next one is print method with system.out. So the use of the print method is to display the given string on the monitor, but it does not append any new line at the end. The one more difference between the println and print methods is println method can be used without having any input parameter. But if you use print method without using any input parameter, you will get an error. So these are the two differences we have between println and print methods. If you observe the usage of the print method, which is same as println method, which accepts a parameter, that parameter value will be displayed on the monitor. Then if you observe the overloading of print method, you cannot observe any print method without having a parameter. And other things are same. You can display the value of an integer on the monitor. Similarly, double value can be displayed, float, character, boolean, string, and also you can display return value of the toString method of that object. So next we will see some examples of print method. See, I have used two print methods. So the first print method is having input argument first statement, the second method is having input argument second statement. See here, if you observe the output, both the statements will be displayed side by side without having any space or new line between them. Because print method does not append any new line character at the end of that string, then automatically both the statements will be displayed without having any space or new line between them. In the second example, I want to display both the statements in the separate lines. That's why I have used an escape sequence \n here. Then automatically I got the first statement in the first line and the second statement in the second line. Then if I use a print statement without having any input argument, then automatically it will generate an error. See, you got an error, no suitable method found for print with no arguments. So that is with a print method. Now the third display method we are going to see is printf method. The use of the printf method is to display the formatted string. See here the usage is system.out.printf. As input arguments, you are going to provide the formatted string as well as arguments, where the formatted string is nothing but the string with format specifiers, and the values of those arguments will be displayed in the place of format specifiers in the proper order. I am going to give you various format specifiers now. Then we are going to use %d for the purpose of displaying decimal integers. Here for the data types byte, short, int as well as long, we are going to use %d as a format specifier. And then %f is a format specifier for the floating point number. And then we have %e as well as %E to display the floating point number in scientific notation. We have %b and %B to display the boolean value. So boolean value may be true or false. If you use lowercase b, then true and false will be displayed in the lowercase, and if you use %B here, then the true and false will be displayed in the uppercase. And then we have %O to display the number in octal format, and %x is there to display the number in hexadecimal format, and to display the character we have format specifier %C, and in order to display the string we have format specifier %S. See, if you want to display string as it is, then we need to use lowercase s, and then if you use uppercase s here, the string will be displayed in the uppercase automatically. And then we have %t to display the date and time formats, and finally we have %n to insert a new line character in the string. So this %n is the same as \n escape character. We can use %n or \n both interchangeably to get a new line character. And then we are going to look at various examples with printf method. In the first example, I have used %d in the string itself to display the value of integer argument. Here 220 is the integer, so the value will be displayed in the place of %d here. Then automatically I will get the output, the integer is 220. And the second example I am considering with respect to float. See here I am using a string here with a format specifier %f, then automatically whatever the floating point value I have mentioned as an argument, so that will be displayed in the place of %f. Then I got the output, the float is 22.766000. Then if you want to get your floating point number in the scientific notation, then you can use %e. See here small e I have used, then automatically I got e in this scientific notation in the lowercase. If I use capital E here, then automatically you will get capital E in the scientific notation of your floating point number display. In the next example, I have mentioned the length of the total floating point number I want to display, and also I am specifying how many number of digits I must have after the decimal point. So if you observe in this example, I have mentioned 6.2f. That means the length of that total floating point number is 6 characters. In that 2 characters are allocated the digits after the decimal point. So this 6 length is including the dot. Now if I display this floating point value by using this format specifier, then I got 22.77 here. See, 766 is rounded off now to the 77. In the next example, 06 I have used. That means I am going to fill the empty locations with 0. See, total 6 characters I am using as the length of this floating point number. In that I am going to use 2 digits after the decimal point. Here the input argument is 22.766, then automatically 766 will be rounded off up to 2 digits after decimal point, and then to fit the entire value into 6 characters, a single 0 is appended before that number. Then 022.77, total length of that display is having 6 characters including that dot. And the next example with respect to boolean, see here I have used some conditions. and then the percentage b I have used, small b I have used. Since 10 is equal to 10, this condition is satisfying. Then I got lowercase true as a value here. And then I have used a condition 10 less than 10. Obviously it will return a false. Then that false will be displayed in the place of format specifier percentage uppercase b I have used here. Then automatically I will get a false in the uppercase in the display like this. And the next example I am using with respect to octal format as well as hexadecimal format. Here I have considered the input argument 432. Then I am displaying that 432 by using octal number format with the help of format specifier percentage %O. Automatically I got the octal equivalent in the display 660 for 432 decimal number. And then I have used percentage small x to display the hexadecimal equivalent of 432. So that is 1B0 displayed in the output. And then I have used uppercase X here. Then automatically now I got uppercase B in the output 1B0. Then I am displaying a character by using the format specifier percentage %C. In the first example I have used K as a character. Then that K will be displayed in the place of this format specifier. So in the next example I have used 65. Then the 65 equivalent Unicode number is capital A. Then automatically capital A will be displayed in the place of this character format specifier. Then the output is, the first line is having the character is K. In the second line I got the character is capital A. And then I am going to display a string on the monitor with the help of format specifier percentage %S. Here my string is SCET. Then automatically that string will be displayed in the place of format specifier percentage %S. Then if I execute this statement, then the monitor will get the string is scat. Now I am going to show you various format specifiers with respect to date and time. For that I am going to import a date class. Actually date class is the member of java.util package. Then I am importing that. After that I am creating an instance for the date class, that is dt. Now the dt is an object for a class date. Then I am using the first printf statement with a format specifier percentage %tc. I clearly mentioned earlier that percentage %t is used to access time and date, but here I have mentioned additional character after percentage %t to extract some information from that date and time. If I use percentage %tc as the format specifier, then automatically it will extract the current date and time that will be displayed like this. See the current date and time, Friday, August 7, and then hours, minutes and seconds, and this is Indian Standard Time 2020. Then I am going to use another printf statement in the main program. So that is printf year percentage %ty, month percentage %tm, and date percentage %td. That means you can extract the year information from the date by using percentage %ty, month information by using percentage %tm, and the date information by using percentage %td from the date object. Then if I execute this, then that statement will display like this. Year is 20, that is 2020. See here I have used small y. Small y extracts only the last 2 digits of your year. If you want to get the total 4 digits of the year, we need to use percentage %t capital Y. That I will show in the next example. And the month is 8 and the date is 7 I got. Now I am using percentage %t capital Y here to get the 4 digits of year. If I execute this, then I got the statement year 2020. I got all the 4 digits of the year because I have used percentage %t and capital Y here. If you observe this next line, I have used percentage %ta as the format specifier to extract the day of the week from the date object. If you execute that, I will get the day as FRI. FRI is the short form of the Friday. Suppose if you want to get entire Friday here instead of 3 characters, then we have another option here, that is percentage %t capital A. If you use percentage %t capital A, automatically the day of the week will be displayed with full spelling. See, now I got the day as Friday. And finally we have another statement here. Here I am going to extract hours, minutes and seconds information from the date object. You can extract the hours information by using %t capital H as a format specifier, and the minutes information we can extract by using %t capital M, and the seconds information we can extract by using the %t capital S as a format specifier. If I execute that statement, then I got hours 2, minutes 10 and seconds 48. It is using 24 hours format, that's why I got 14 here, that is 2 p.m. So that's all with different display statements available in Java with system.out. So that's all guys. This is the end of today's video. I will meet you with a new concept in the next video. Till then, keep practicing. Bye bye.